a knee strike parried by a punch, and a punch blocked with the forearm. Swift strikes were parried in rapid succession during the combat training. Taking the hits, a young man scratched his arm hurriedly. "That hurts." Standing before him was Su Hong. "Hey, your Vajra fist has improved again. You haven't reached the subtlety realm yet, have you?" The young man in front of him, training shirtless, dropped into a fighting stance, revealing, "I reached subtlety 2 days ago." Subtlety was one of the world's martial arts realms. Any martial art mastery was divided into 5 levels: entry, proficiency, subtlety, great achievement, and perfection. Su Hong's sparring partner gave him a thumbs up, for no one could compare to his Vajra fist. Ending the break, Su Hong barked, "Let's keep training." However, the young man quickly fled from Su Hong, grabbing his backpack to leave the gym. "I'm going home to eat. Goodbye, you training maniac." Old Professor Lee was checking the gym, and the young man said his goodbyes. Professor Lee sought out Su Hong. "Have you applied for the martial division?" He wanted to know why the young man hadn't paid the 30,000 yuan fee yet, as there was only 1 month left until registration closed. Averting his gaze, Su Hong asked the professor if he could give him a few more days. Despite knowing the financial troubles of Su Hong's family, Professor Lee reminded him that rules were rules. Even after everyone had left, Su Hong remained on the court, practicing his strikes. He continued to punch the air, thinking about the 30,000 fee. When Su Hong was only 3 years old, his parents perished in a disaster caused by a ferocious beast. After that, he went to live with his uncle and aunt's family, and as soon as they discovered his talent for martial arts, he received their full support. After all, in this era filled with ferocious beasts, martial artists were the ones who earned the most money. Su Hong looked at his muscular body without a hint of fat. He had trained in martial arts so his family could live a good life, but now he was making things even more complicated for them. Just as he was about to enter the house, Su Hong heard a conversation coming from inside. "Rent day is coming up, right? How much do we have?" His aunt and uncle were talking, willing to delay the rent just to pay Su Hong's registration fee. "Su Hong's talent is so good. He will definitely become someone important. We can't hold this boy back." Su Hong's aunt wanted to stop taking her medicine just to help her nephew. The uncle, however, was already thinking about taking on extra work so she could rest and not worry about the money. Su Hong felt the pressure he was putting on his relatives. He wanted to give up, but slapped his own cheeks to wake himself up. He opened the door with a smile, greeting his uncle and aunt. The aunt, who was applying muscle patches to Su Hong's uncle, was surprised by the boy arriving so late. Su Hong grabbed one of the patches, wanting to put them on for her, but she insisted on doing it. "Go to your room and rest, or you won't have any energy tomorrow." Su Hong's uncle agreed. "Listen to her. Go rest." In the room lit by moonlight, Su Hong lay down, thinking of his uncle and aunt, who did more than enough for him. That was why he wanted to handle his own problems from that moment on. Su Hong only knew one place where martial arts practitioners could earn tens of thousands in just a few days. The next day, Su Hong went to a large building surrounded by a forest. Inside the building, a large arena could be found. This was the underground fight club. The host approached the stage, announcing a famous competitor. "Today, the one commanding the stage is none other than the one and only Mr. Minotaur. Win 4 in a row and take 60,000 in prizes. Lose and you get nothing." Behind the red bull mask was Su Hong. The people around had never seen that guy with the bull mask before. No one put any faith in the newcomer. The announcer nudged Su Hong. "Hey kid, hype up the crowd." Su Hong scratched his head, asking how he could do that. The woman sighed, needing to teach him. "Try to provoke them. Ugh, newcomers are such a pain." Su Hong understood what she meant and shouted for everyone in the arena to hear. "I am invincible against anyone below a martial arts master. Weaklings, come and get me." Mr. Minotaur's arrogance irritated everyone. Soon, curses and a chorus echoed through the arena. "Crush him! Crush him!" Su Hong was not surprised by the malicious intent in the room, but that was the only way to get quick money. He hoped his diamond fist would win him some victories. A man with a rat mask jumped into the arena. "Arrogant bastard, I'm going to play with you." Su Hong analyzed his opponent. Plenty of strength, but the low stance seems unstable. Does he give the impression of being easy prey? The man with the rat mask lunged at Su Hong, taking advantage of the fact that he seemed distracted. Against the opponent's fist, Su Hong opened his hand. He launched a high attack, hitting the opponent's chin with his palm, thrusting him upward and throwing him out of the arena with a single blow. Su Hong raised his arm in victory, provoking, "Bring on the next one!" An uproar took over the arena, everyone surprised by the masked bull. It didn't take long for a larger opponent to enter the ring. "You got lucky, but against me, luck won't exist." Su Hong taunted the competitor, beckoning with his hand. This opponent seemed skilled, which would be perfect for testing the power of the diamond fist. Su Hong's muscular opponent advanced with a clenched fist, throwing a cross punch. Su Hong countered punch for punch, matching the opponent's strength. The masked opponent was surprised, as his wind punch hadn't worked. Su Hong felt that the opponent's punch was weaker than his, and went for a counterattack, with an upward punch rising to strike the opponent. As he hit him on the upper body, Su Hong spotted an opening in the midsection. Su Hong's kick landed with precision, hitting the opponent in his center of gravity, causing him to double over. Su Hong threw the second opponent out of the arena, surprising everyone once again. The announcer happily announced Minotaur's second consecutive victory, who provoked again. "Next, Su Hong was being watched from the highest areas of the arena. In a luxurious room with security guards and women dressed as bunnies, a man observed him from behind a glass wall, delivering his assessment. Not even a quasi-martial artist, but above the average of common disciples. This young man is no joke. Although Su Hong didn't look like an elite, he seemed solid enough to participate in competitions. Immediately, a masked blonde youth announced upon hearing the leader, "Teacher, I will recruit him." The mysterious man, however, warned, "Remember, do not show that you have evolved into a martial artist." Su Hong looked at his fist while doctors carried away the third opponent he had defeated. He felt that the diamond fist at the subtlety level would have no trouble defeating common disciples. Su Hong was one victory away from obtaining the 60,000. At that moment, shouts of surprise arose. "It's the White Fox! Is he going to challenge too? But isn't he a quasi-disciple? This is cheating." Su Hong heard the comments. The battle would be hard, but he wouldn't let himself lose. The man in the white suit smiled at Su Hong, waving to him. "Do not fear. I know my limits." The announcer signaled to the stage. "Final round of the Gatekeeper Challenge, begin." Immediately, Su Hong and the White Fox moved. Even being in a lower realm, Su Hong gave his all in his strike. The fists of both met in the center of the arena, and immediately Su Hong realized through the exchange, he's not a quasi, he's a true martial artist. He's holding back his chi and blood on purpose. Su Hong's teeth ground together, irritated by the cheating. The fox-masked man inhaled softly, letting energy surge through his body. Immediately, he took control of the battle, being much faster than Su Hong. Faced with such overwhelming power, Su Hong understood what martial artists were. In the crowd, everyone was impressed by White Fox's triple punches. Su Hong was forced to retreat, while White Fox attacked and taunted. "Are you only going to defend? Show me what you've got." Su Hong put his arms in front of his body, protecting himself from the countless attacks while trying to find a chance to counterattack. The attacks, however, came like a meteor shower, and one of them broke through his defenses. Su Hong didn't even see when the fist hit his face. He flew back, falling to the ground. His consciousness was fading, even as he forced himself to stay awake. The White Fox stepped over Su Hong. "Brother, was this match worth money? Then it's 0 for you." He bowed slightly, informing him, "My teacher wants you to join us. Fight for us and we will pay the prize if you accept." Su Hong, however, would not accept money from dirty people. White Fox did not like hearing the refusal, pressing down even harder on Su Hong, who still did not abandon his morals. "You pull this nonsense and still call yourselves martial artists?" Su Hong's opponent's gaze turned dark upon hearing him. He raised his foot, barking, "Very well, I'll finish you. Being a martial artist will remain only in your dreams." Su Hong felt an intense pressure overflow from his body. He squeezed out all his strength and managed to jump back, dodging the kick. An energy like fire burned around Su Hong while he muttered, "I can't fail here. I can't fail. I can't fail." The White Fox was shocked to see someone who had received his thundering punches remain standing. Su Hong continued to mutter, thinking of his family. "I will become a martial artist. I cannot waste my aunt and uncle's sacrifice." He wanted to give his family a good life, but there was no way to abandon the martial artist's code for it. He deeply refused to follow a dark future. It was at that moment that, before Su Hong's blurred eyes, a holographic window with a question appeared. "For your family, for your faith, what price are you willing to pay?" Su Hong answered with conviction, "Everything!" While the fire-like energy enveloped his body, Su Hong felt a sudden chill. His surroundings shifted, and a titanic being materialized before him. The golden-bodied entity had a translucent lower half, and its wings and arms lacked a definite physical form, dissolving like shifting ichor. The being's deep voice reached Su Hong. "I shall grant you this opportunity." A surge of light erupted from the entity, colliding with Su Hong. A golden window appeared before the protagonist, displaying his information, his name, vitality, spiritual power, and his mortal physique. There was a mission for him to complete. Scanning the details, Su Hong decided to click on the random mission. The information materialized. Path of the arena. The road to becoming powerful is fraught with thorns. Player, please hone your martial arts skills here and settle the score with the White Fox in the outer world. The objective was clear. Inherit the martial art, master the Vajra Fist, and bring both the floating light palm and the void step to the micro level. There was no reward listed, as this was merely a basic guide. As Su Hong analyzed the mission, he didn't notice an identical copy of himself being created. By the time he sensed the danger, a punch was already closing in. With agile grace, Su Hong ducked, dodging the attack. Seeing his clone use the Vajra Fist startled Su Hong. It was at a level far above his own mastery. However, he was not intimidated. With such a perfect training model in front of me, how could I miss the chance to learn? As Su Hong launched a punch, the clone caught his wrist and countered. Su Hong felt as if the clone were demonstrating exactly how to execute the movement, until the clone's fist actually connected. Taking the hit, Su Hong retreated. Checking his progress, he saw his understanding of the Vajra Fist had increased by $3%, reaching the $10% mark. Encouraged by the rapid improvement, Su-hong braced himself once more. Su-hong lunged forward, and the clone mirrored him. Exchanging blows for several minutes, Su-hong watched his proficiencies soar. The void step, already at the proficient level, rose quickly. The same happened with the floating light palm and the Vajra fist, the latter finally reaching the micro level. After an indefinite period of combat, Su-hong evolved his floating light palm from proficient to micro, and finally defeated the clone by landing a decisive blow. Using his newly refined void step to close the distance, he unleashed a Vajra fist, now at the mastered level. The attack hit the clone dead center, dissolving it into particles of light and concluding the training. Having honed his 3 skills, Su-hong clenched his fist in gratitude. A notification appeared instantly. "Congratulations, player. You have completed the path of the arena mission. Rewards have been delivered. Do you agree to return to reality?" Su-hong accepted and reappeared in the arena facing the white fox. The white fox surged toward him. "Playing mysterious, are we? Take this." He executed his thundering punch once more. His attacks were swift, but to Su-hong's eyes, they now seemed sluggish. Dodging every strike, Su-hong closed his fist. Mr. Minotaur's punch caught the white fox completely off guard. The force of the blow shattered the fox mask and drove forward with even greater ferocity. Behind the Minotaur mask, Su-hong's expression remained dead serious. He hadn't even broken a sweat. The entire arena stood mouth agape at the result. With a single punch, Su-hong had crushed his adversary, face-planting him into the stone floor. Su-hong looked at the presenter, questioning, "I won the 4th fight. When will you give me my prize money?" Startled by the unexpected turn, she quickly recovered and announced, "Congratulations to the Minotaur for defending the ring. He has won the grand prize of 60,000. In the VIP room, the arena leader watched the outcome in shock. A mastered Vajra fist? How can a martial apprentice cultivate the Vajra fist to mastery? Most true martial artists can't even achieve that. He immediately ordered his security, follow him and investigate his identity. That night, Su-hong walked calmly toward his home. However, as he passed through the alleys, he noticed shadows tailing him. With a quick maneuver, he gave 2 guards the slip. They searched the narrow passages, unable to fail their orders, while Su-hong hung suspended between 2 buildings above them, listening to their conversation. An hour later, Su-hong arrived home. His aunt and uncle were shocked by the stack of cash on the table. "Little Hong, where did all this money come from?" Su-hong fabricated a story, claiming that because he was so talented, the dojo where he worked as a sparring partner had decided to sponsor him. His relatives asked suspiciously, "But didn't you say the dojo master was extremely stingy?" Su-hong quickly took their hands, asking if they didn't trust him. They fell for his charm. "That's right, our little Hong would never lie to us." After talking with them, Su-hong went up to the roof. He had solved the exam registration fee and the rent. His aunt's medicine was no longer an issue. He thanked the system for turning a deadly situation into an advantage. Beyond his martial arts mastery, he noticed another change. In the statistics window, a number caught his eye: martial value. When he wondered about its purpose, a notification popped up. Defeated a higher level opponent. Obtained 67 points of martial value. Martial value can increase vitality and martial skills. Please use with discretion. He realized that for every point spent, his vitality increased by $0.1. Su-hong felt his body change immediately as energy overflowed within him. His vitality reached $90 points. He was nearing the level of a quasi-martial artist. He decided to dump all remaining points into vitality. He felt not only his physical strength improve significantly, but his wounds also healed almost completely. With his body burning with power, Su-hong leaped from rooftop to rooftop, looking for a place to train. He figured the school training grounds would have a combat tester. He arrived quickly at the open-air arena of Star City No. 1 school. In the center sat a level 1 combat power tester. Su-hong decided to use only $70% of his strength for the first punch. A sharp glint appeared in his eyes as his fist moved. He struck the red target of the tester with a thunderous boom. Su-hong immediately realized he had messed up. The tester had shattered, and thick smoke billowed from its internals. Worried, he wondered if they would make him pay for it. At that moment, a shout echoed. "What's that noise? What's going on in the middle of the night?" Su-hong yanked his arm out of the broken machine and fled. An old man in pajamas arrived at the arena and fell into despair. "Who was the bastard that did this? The only ones capable of this are those brats Chen Shan and Li Tu." The old man screamed furiously. "Just wait until school starts. I will definitely educate you properly." Inside the school gymnasium, dozens of students had gathered. Upon arriving, Su-hong asked a friend, "Why does Chen Shan have a lump on his head?" His friend whispered back, revealing that Chen Shan had allegedly smashed the tester the previous night and refused to admit it, leading to a punishment from the principal. On stage, the principal called for silence and introduced the man beside him. "Today's guest is my comrade in arms, the Tier 3 martial artist, Chen Tian. He will be teaching the Thundering Punch. Everyone, study closely." For many, it was their first time seeing a Tier 3 martial artist. Lessons from someone of that caliber usually cost hundreds of thousands. Su Hong remembered this was the same technique the White Fox had used against him, an explosive fist capable of dealing 3 impacts. To learn a rank C martial skill normally required registration fees in the hundreds of millions. Su Hong was determined not to waste this chance. On stage, Chen Tian commanded attention. Students, stop talking nonsense. I will demonstrate it 10 times from start to finish. How much you learn depends on you. He stepped firmly and launched a punch forward. The first move is fierce and domineering. At the basic level, a punch will emit a single thunderclap. He struck again, demonstrating the proficiency level, releasing 3 thunderclaps. Next, he showed the micro and mastered levels, releasing 5 and 7 sounds respectively. Finally, Chen Tian demonstrated his own level. Lightning coursed through his entire body, and the energy in his fist took the form of a drill, piercing the air. Concluding the demonstration, Chen Tian added, "When you reach the perfection level, you can cause 9 sounds, but don't aim too high. Reaching the basic level today is enough." As the second demonstration began, Chen Tian asked everyone to imitate him. Immediately, the students in the auditorium punched in sync. Hours later, most had given up, collapsing from exhaustion. Su Hong's friend panted heavily. "How is this even learnable? Rank C martial arts are too difficult." He turned to ask Su Hong if he'd managed it, only to find Su Hong had vanished. Suddenly, Chen Shan shouted with joy, "Ha ha ha! I did it! I reached the basic level!" The principal pointed at Chen Shan, introducing him to Chen Tian. "This is our school's #1 genius, Chen Shan. Are you interested in guiding him?" Chen Tian, however, was unimpressed. "He's considered a genius? In other cities, that's just average." Leaving the auditorium, Chen Tian walked beside the principal. "Old Li, your students aren't great. You made me come here for nothing." The principal felt one student reaching basic level was success enough. "What did you expect? To find a high-tier genius?" Chen Tian sighed. "The martial Tao is cruel. Talent is everything." At that exact moment, several thunderclaps reached their ears. In a nearby arena, they saw a student enveloped in lightning. Chen Tian rushed to the fence. "That was the 7-sound thundering punch. Your school actually has someone at that level?" The principal was shocked. He had never heard of such a genius. They watched as the student moved again. Su Hong, oblivious to the duo, demonstrated the thundering punch again, echoing 7 thunderclaps. Chen Tian was stunned. After only half a day of teaching, a student had reached mastery. Su Hong executed the punch one last time, shocking the principal as 9 thunderclaps boomed through the air. Beside him, Chen Tian trembled nervously. Watching the youth, Chen Tian had a sudden epiphany. "I see it. I understand now." Lightning began to spark on Chen Tian's own fist. He launched a massive punch, the thunder echoing louder than before. The principal congratulated him on breaking his bottleneck and reaching the 8-sound level. Chen Tian gripped his fist, ecstatic. "It was that youth's punch that inspired me. Otherwise, I might never have broken through." Chen Tian hopped the fence. "No time to talk, let's see who that student is." They ran to the field, but Su Hong had already disappeared. Su Hong was on his way home, stretching his aching muscles. "I didn't expect cultivating a rank C skill to be so exhausting, much more so than the Vajra fist." Looking at his stats, Su Hong saw he had already reached the perfection realm for the thundering punch. Now he needed a way to gain martial value and enter the realm of true martial artists. He didn't want a life or death struggle, but a proper challenge. After a few minutes, he arrived at the Raging Thunder Dojo. Inside, people were practicing spear arts. A trainee asked why Su Hong was there, and he simply replied he wanted to practice. Suddenly, the sound of a body hitting the floor echoed. A young man had been kicked by an arrogant-looking man. "You dare say my teacher teaches poorly? If your comprehension is garbage, admit it instead of making excuses." A nearby trainee whispered to Su Hong, "You haven't been around lately, so you don't know. His teacher is a new instructor, very strict, looks down on commoners like us, and only teaches superficially." He pointed to the arrogant man, identifying him as Li Yan. Li Yan raised his fist to strike the fallen youth again. "With your level, you dare challenge me?" Suddenly his wrist was caught. Su Hong warned him. "Let's stop here, friend." Feeling challenged, Li Yan provoked. "Who are you? Let go. If you have the guts, face me in the arena." Su Hong didn't back down, but a man in a suit entered the room. "What's all this noise? Class is starting." Li Yan retreated, glaring at Su Hong. "You got lucky." Seeing how arrogant these people were, Su Hong decided to see if they were actually worth their salt. The instructor gathered the martial artists. "Today is the last day. I will teach the Raging Sea Spear technique. Same rule as always. I'll demonstrate it once." The instructor swung the weapon upward, scoffing internally and doubting anyone would learn a thing. However, the demonstration did not escape Su Hong's eyes. Every movement was recorded in his mind. The instructor threw the spear down and left. "How much you learn is up to you." The students grumbled once the teacher and Li Yan were gone. "Teach us something? You fraud?" Su Hong had grasped the core of the technique. The spear was like a sea dragon walking upon the water, with momentum like endless, massive waves. Su Hong swung a spear over his shoulder and executed a thrust. He moved through the dojo with perfection, sparking surprise in everyone. Suddenly, Li Yan burst through the doors, complaining about the noise. Who learned the technique? Did anyone actually manage it? Seeing Su Hong wielding the spear with such skill, Li Yan realized he had learned it and decided to test him further. He approached tauntingly. Hey kid, I'll give you some tips on spear technique. He pointed his spear at Su Hong in a challenge. Su Hong's friend tried to warn him. Su Hong, even if this guy is a jerk, his strength is high, don't be impulsive. Su Hong remained calm. He leveled his spear and said, please teach me. Li Yan roared, charging forward. Kid, you're arrogant. Witness the raging sea spear at the micro level. Su Hong closed his eyes, sighing softly. In the next moment, the sea seemed to surge around him, bathing the blade as he executed the raging sea spear at the proficiency level. Faced with such technique, Li Yan's expression instantly turned to one of regret. Executing the spear technique, Su Hong launched a thrust. The spear tips collided, sending sparks flying. Li Yan was the most surprised of all. The youth before him wasn't even a martial artist yet, and yet he had reached such a stage of proficiency so quickly. A glint appeared in Su Hong's eyes. A surge of even greater power coursed through his body, and with a sweep of his spear, he knocked away the one held by Li Yan. Su Hong received a system reward for defeating a martial artist above his level, 35 martial points. Just as he had suspected, he could earn martial points through combat. Li Yan fell to his knees, completely incredulous. No way. Mastering the raging sea spear technique to the proficient level so quickly, then what was the point of all my years of hard work? Furious, Li Yan stood up, lunging towards Su Hong with a clenched fist. When the fist was just inches away, a powerful voice stopped him. That's enough! Li Yan looked to the side, noticing the arrival of his teacher. Unexpectedly, Li Yan's teacher slapped him. If you can't even handle defeat, what kind of martial artist are you? Li Yan couldn't believe he had been hit, but the instructor didn't care. This unknown youth had observed the demonstration only once, and had already reached the proficient stage of the technique. Even the geniuses of the imperial capital were not this impressive. Although Li Yan was talented, the instructor could see his arrogance. Being defeated by a true genius ought to teach him a lesson. Immediately, the instructor forced Li Yan to bow. Young man, please forgive my disciple's lack of discipline. Su Hong didn't care much for the instructor's words, as the man's attitude shifted so rapidly. He soon left the dojo. The day had been hectic, but he had gained much. He hadn't only learned the thundering punch and the raging sea spear technique, but also earned martial points. Reflecting for a moment, he remembered that the school exams were only a few days away. Wealthy students had prepared numerous high-rank weapons. He also needed to prepare something for the exam. A spear seemed like a good choice, which made Su Hong consider buying one. However, with the money he had, he could barely afford his aunt's medicine. He couldn't even buy a spear, which cost nearly 70,000 yen. While wondering if there was another way to get money, he passed by a shop. A news report was playing on one of the televisions. The number of ferocious beasts in Star City has increased. The city lord is recruiting martial artists to hunt them. The rewards are generous. Upon discovering the monster hunt outside the city, Su Hong thought about joining in. At Su Hong's house, his aunt was once again applying patches to her husband. Look at you. Didn't little Hong give us a good amount of money last time? Why are you working so hard? Su Hong's uncle had a narrow mindset. He is still young. It's not right to put our problems on his shoulders. I need to save money for them while I am still able to work. Su Hong opened the door, announcing his arrival. He immediately went to his aunt, intending to take the muscle relaxants to put on his uncle's back, but she held on to them, sighing, I already told you to rest when you get home. Insisting, he began applying the patches to his uncle's back while revealing, Uncle, I can make money now. You shouldn't work extra part-time anymore. Just stay home and take care of Aunt. Su Hong's uncle partially agreed. All right, but I'm not going to just sit around doing nothing. He smiled, giving a thumbs up. Don't worry, I'll just earn a little for daily expenses. I won't push myself too hard. Su Hong's aunt also smiled gently at him. Little Hong, your martial arts training will cost even more in the future. We want to save as much as we can. Su Hong knew how poor his aunt and uncle used to be. Unless he earned enough money to last a lifetime, they wouldn't feel secure enough to retire and care for their health. Precisely for that reason, Su Hong did not intend to let the monster hunt reward slip away. Going up to the roof of the building, Su Hong set about preparing. The hunt would be fierce and dangerous. To ensure his safety, he needed to increase his strength as much as possible. To bolster his protection, Su Hong invested his martial points into vitality. He reached the 95 vitality mark. This left him just one step away from becoming a martial artist. 2 days later, Su Hong found himself in a pool of sweat, lying on the wooden floor of the gym. It was already past 10 p.m. It had taken 2 days for him to finally raise all his martial arts to the perfection level. Now, he felt his preparations were complete, and he could move forward. On Saturday, Su Hong headed to the Star City martial artists' base. The place, far from where he lived, looked more like a great fortress. Walking through the area, seeing traditional buildings he had only seen on television, he observed them in person for the first time. Martial artists were normally rare to see, but there they were all around. Su-hong picked up a flyer, checking the rewards. 300 yuan for each blue star beast. Starting from Tier 1, they would pay 1,000 for the initial stage, 3,000 for the intermediate stage, and 5,000 for the advanced stage. Something quite primitive caught Su-hong's attention. As proof that they had defeated a ferocious beast, it was necessary to harvest its left ear. As he walked, Su-hong saw a man with a great sword place a heavy bag on the exchange window. He imagined the bag was full of ears. At that moment, a noisy group passed through the gate. "Make way! Can't you see young Master Ye is here?" A masked brute was shouting, accompanying a blonde youth. Somehow, that person's aura and clothing reminded Su-hong of the white fox he had fought in the underground arena. He overheard some nearby comments. "What a loser. If his uncle wasn't the base director, I'd crush him instantly." Another person hearing the comment added, "I heard he took a beating a few days ago. Serves him right." Su-hong observed the person once more, who walked with a smile on his face. The protagonist didn't care much about him, but knowing that not only ferocious beasts but also humans were dangerous, he decided to take extra care. Su-hong approached the exit and was stopped by a guard. "You're young. First time? Going into the wilderness alone?" Su-hong confirmed and passed by the guard, who sighed internally. Another ignorant kid. Leaving the fortress, Su-hong found himself in a vast forest. Rolling up his sleeves, he said to himself resolutely, "I will return with a full bag." 2 hours later, Su-hong had already ventured deep into the forest, but he hadn't seen a single beast. Could they all have been eliminated by the others while I was on my way here? Confused, he decided to push further. Su-hong ran quickly toward the inner areas of the forest, but stopped suddenly. A large white wolf with red eyes appeared in his path. The wolf appeared to be in the initial stage of Tier 1. It was a lesser moon wolf, and that was the first time Su-hong had seen one in person. The moon wolf growled fiercely at Su-hong. It gave the prey no time to retreat. The moon wolf's razor-sharp claws sliced through the air, with Su-hong as their final target. Su-hong, however, managed to evade by ducking low. At the same time, lightning sparked in his hand. The thundering punch struck the wolf's belly, sending it reeling backward. The blow was more powerful than the wolf could withstand. With a low whimper, it was hurled against a tree. The wolf slumped to the ground, utterly defeated. Su-hong could finally feel what it was like to fight a monster. It was far more exhilarating than he had imagined. Having defeated an initial stage Tier 1 beast, he wondered what it would be like to face a middle stage one. As he questioned this, red eyes emerged from the forest's darkness, watching him. The middle stage beast he anticipated appeared. A raging black bear lunged from between the trees, charging at him. A massive sound of impact echoed. The bear groaned slightly before falling to the ground. Su-hong realized that with his current strength, as long as he didn't provoke a Tier 2 beast, he was in no danger. Upon harvesting the bear's ear, he was satisfied to have secured another 3,000 yuan for his account. At that moment, a reminder notification appeared before him. Accumulated martial points are sufficient to become a martial artist. Please undergo evolution soon. Just as he rejoiced at the notice, Su-hong felt an overwhelming aura not far away. He looked around, wondering which beast possessed such an aura. Without fear, he ventured deeper into the forest to investigate. Climbing onto a rock, Su-hong was shocked to get a clear view. Before him was a peak stage Tier 1 ferocious beast, a giant black jade python. The python was already in combat, lashing its body and throwing the humans attacking it far away. 2 of those hit by the python crashed against the rock where Su-hong stood. The protagonist felt the danger immediately. The python had located him and attempted an attack. He jumped back, but the serpent's tail followed. With great speed, the python struck Su-hong, sending him flying. He retreated quickly, coughing from the damage sustained. In the area where he landed, a spear warrior lay on the ground, defeated by the python. Su-hong borrowed the man's spear. He walked toward the python, intending to challenge it. The jade python wasted no time. It opened its mouth, bearing fangs and venomous saliva, and took the initiative to attack Su-hong. The strike landed right in front of him, but he managed to dodge by jumping backward. To defeat a peak stage Tier 1 beast, a team of martial artists of the same level working together was usually required. However, Su-hong's martial arts had been cultivated to perfection. He was confident after easily defeating the raging bear. To demonstrate his confidence, Su-hong used a tree as a springboard, gaining momentum to leap toward the jade python. With the aid of the void step, his speed increased as he closed in on the giant serpent. Mid-leap, Su-hong hurled his spear at the python, executing the raging sea spear technique. The spear pierced the python, passing through it as if it were thin paper. The python roared fiercely as it felt the intense pain. Immediately, Su-hong jumped over it, running toward the spear that had hit the ground after impaling the beast. Su-hong grabbed the spear and prepared to attack again. As he activated the raging sea spear technique, an energy resembling seawater surged around him. Channeling the attack once more, Su-hong threw the spear with even greater velocity. It tore through the air, carrying the surrounding water vapor with it. The spear struck the python again, piercing it with ease. Su-hong sprinted across the battlefield, leaping for the spear while dodging the python's tail swipes. The attribute attribute gap was large, and Su-hong figured he would need a powerful finishing move to defeat it. I first need to wear it down as much as possible, then I'll find an opportunity to deliver the final blow. As he devised his plan, the serpent's tail lashed out at high speed. Su-hong moved hurriedly, but managed to perfectly execute a thundering punch. The blow landed squarely on the snake's tail as it came toward him. After the impact, Su-hong retreated. Every time he launched an attack, he needed to immediately create distance between himself and the python. Finding an opening, attacking again, and then retreating quickly was the strategy he adopted for this battle. Su-hong panted heavily. Fighting this way was exhausting, but at least it was safe. He could tell by the trembling of the serpent's body that it was also reaching its limit. A few more attack cycles would be enough to finally defeat it. Gripping the spear firmly, Su-hong awaited the giant python's next move. However, at that moment, he sensed danger coming from behind. He turned quickly, knowing someone was there. Even so, he realized too late. A muscular, masked man lunged at Su-hong, gathering immense energy in his fist. Su-hong raised his arm hastily, trying to block the attack. Hit full force, he rolled across the ground several times before managing to stand. Coughing continuously, he looked up and asked, "Who are you?" Before him stood a group led by a blonde youth. Grimly, the so-called young Master Ye addressed Su-hong. "We meet again. How about you hand over that giant black jade python to me?" Su-hong, on his knees, struggled to stand. In front of him, young Master Ye revealed how he had tracked him. "When I saw you dare to leave the city alone, I was certain you'd find your end here. I didn't expect you to be this strong. Not only are you alive, but you also found a critically injured giant black jade python." Su-hong couldn't believe they were claiming he had just stumbled upon the python in that state. All 5 men before him were martial artists, and they had the numbers. This was exactly why Su-hong didn't want to fight them head-on. Suddenly, the same muscular man who had struck him before lunged again. "Didn't you hear young Master Ye? He wants the giant python. Why haven't you given up yet?" Fury surged through Su-hong as he realized the scheme they were pulling. "You attacked me from the shadows. Do you really think I'd lose to people like you?" Su-hong's fist met the masked man's punch. The brute felt a terrifying power ripple back through his arm. Su-hong didn't stop there. With a heavy follow-up, he shattered the man's mask and sent him crashing to the ground. Young Master Ye smiled, offering a mock compliment. "Excellent Vajra fist. Certainly fitting for you, the Minotaur." That comment confirmed Su-hong's suspicion. The man before him was the White Fox. Young Master Ye's smile vanished instantly after the remark. "You are the first person to humiliate me in front of so many people." He immediately ordered his subordinates. "Finish him." The 3 remaining team members advanced. Su-hong grabbed the spear he'd scavenged and leaped out of the pit where he'd fought the python. The group pursued him into the dense forest, searching every corner. "The woods are thick. Watch out for an ambush." One of them, however, remained overconfident. "We have the numbers. Why are you afraid of one person?" At that exact moment, Su-hong materialized behind him. The man turned only to be met with a razor-sharp gaze. An explosive blow landed, dropping him instantly at young Master Ye's feet. The White Fox cursed internally, looking around frantically, trying to understand how Su-hong was so fast. The remaining 3 stood back to back. One whispered, terrified, "Young Master Ye, that's the thundering punch." He used a thundering punch with 9 echoes. Even rank 3 martial artists don't have the thundering punch trained to perfection. Young Master Ye's expression darkened. "Shut up!" Even he struggled to believe someone had refined both the thundering punch and the Vajra fist to the perfect stage. Su-hong watched them from high up in a tree. He was frustrated. If he hadn't spent so much vitality fighting the python, he could have continued the fight head-on. Now forced to pick them off one by one, Su-hong hurled his spear at high speed. The spear missed everyone, landing beside the 3 enemies, but it served its purpose as a distraction. Su-hong surged toward one of them, his palm striking the man's face before he could even react. Young Master Ye and the last man standing looked back to see their comrade dazed. The subordinate cried out in fear, "Young Master, that kid is too strong. We need to get out of here." Young Master Ye refused. He wanted to destroy the one who had humiliated him. Yet he couldn't even track Su-hong, who moved through the trees like a ghost. Su-hong suddenly appeared between the young master and his final companion. Focusing on the latter, Su-hong's strike took out the last bodyguard. Young Master Ye ground his teeth. Damn it, it's only been a few days. How did he become this strong? As he spiraled, Su-hong passed behind him. He spun around, but Su-hong was gone. Then Su-hong reappeared behind him again, this time holding the spear. Young Master Ye, expecting this, turned sharply with energy gathered in his palm, shaped like a blade. Void-cutting fingers. The energy blast whistled over Su-hong's shoulder, striking a tree and toppling it. Young Master Ye seemed to lose his mind, firing energy blasts in every direction. Su-hong analyzed the attacks, noting they were at least rank B. Young Master Ye kept a small amount of energy at his fingertips, screaming, "You brat, I've memorized your face! If you dare hurt me when I get back, I'll make sure to end your entire family." The threat hit Su-hong's rawest nerve, and fury took complete control. He stopped waiting and charged instantly. While young Master Ye was still hurling curses, a shadow loomed behind him. By the time he noticed, Su-hong's fist was already glowing with massive energy. Su Hong spoke a single line before the impact. "You would have been better off sticking to your arrogance." The protagonist's fist found its mark. The force of the blow snapped Ye's head back violently. A massive explosion of sand and dust filled the air as young Master Ye was launched back into the pit where the python waited. Su Hong followed, pursuing him down. The aura around Su Hong burned like a sinister fire. "You should never have threatened my family." Young Master Ye was covered in blood. He tried to stand, still baffled by how Su Hong could be this strong when he wasn't even a martial artist. In that moment of doubt, the giant python rose behind him. Young Master Ye turned at the sound of a hiss. The python's massive tail slammed down on him, bringing his end. Immediately after, the giant python bared its fangs at Su Hong. Having spent so much time fighting Ye and his lackeys, Su Hong realized the python had used the time to recover its stamina. It was now completely refreshed and ready for a second round. Sometime later, the three who had been knocked down by Su Hong woke up. Still dazed, they wondered about the whereabouts of young Master Ye. Did the young master finish off that brat? One of young Master Ye's companions looked to the side when he heard the sound of footsteps. Su Hong was running toward them, carrying the fury of each one. However, Su Hong did not attack them. Instead, he shouted a warning, "Run!" Behind Su Hong, the giant black jade python emerged fiercely, pursuing him. The giant python lunged, swallowing one of the three companions of the former young Master Ye. Thanks to that, Su Hong obtained 30 martial value points for having indirectly caused their elimination. Su Hong's second enemy was thrown against a tree. He also met his end, and 30 more points were received by Su Hong. Despite not expecting to gain such points, Su Hong couldn't linger on it. The python had already resumed its chase. After going through several battles, the martial points he possessed were enough to become a martial artist. Su Hong used the trees as springboards, trying to shake off the giant python, which continued on his trail. He would need to find a safe place to manage his evolution. After continuing to flee for so long, Su Hong managed to spot a cave. He ran straight for it, followed by the python, which nearly knocked down the cave entrance trying to force its way in. Su Hong hid inside, and in its attempt to follow him, the python managed to thrust its fangs inside. However, the python's head got stuck, advancing no more than a meter. Su Hong sat down calmly to look at his information. He had 96 vitality points, 23 spirit points, and a 3% bonus to his mortal body. Finally, after his various skills reached the perfect rank, he possessed 504 martial points. Su Hong pressed the button to increase vitality, which shot up at high speed. He felt as if the blood in his body were flowing like magma, burning his insides. Soon, Su Hong's vitality reached 100 points. Su Hong managed to advance to the realm of martial artists. The aura around him became oppressive, swirling around him like the fire of a torch. Su Hong's fist ignited with power. He faced the python. "Now it's my turn." The python felt the pressure exerted by Su Hong's power and tried to retreat, pulling its head out of the cave. Su Hong lunged forward, not allowing it to escape. With its head stuck in the cave, the giant python could not dodge the attack. Su Hong's punch hit it dead center. The power possessed by the protagonist threw the python out of the cave, shattering the mountain. While the python was still trying to recover, Su Hong pursued it. On his fist, the energy of the Vajra punch skill glowed. The python would not allow him to hit it easily. It tried to swing its tail to strike him. The snake's tail blocked Su Hong's advance, forcing him to use his attack against it. The counterattack caused heavy internal damage to Su Hong, who ground his teeth, clicking his tongue in irritation. He transferred his anger to the grip of the spear. Against the giant python's tail, he pierced through it like a raging sea. As soon as he pinned the giant python's tail to the ground, Su Hong made the energy of his attack form the thundering punch. Su Hong's fist fell like a cataclysmic lightning bolt upon the python's head. The sounds of thunder echoed throughout the forest. The weight of Su Hong's fist forced the serpent against the ground, sinking it into the earth. When a large curtain of dust dissipated, Su Hong appeared on top of the serpent's head. Even though the giant python was already severely injured, I managed to face its attacks head-on. Sitting on the serpent's head, he remembered he needed to take the monster's left ear as proof, but such monsters didn't have ears. Having decided what to do, Su Hong prepared to leave. On the way, Su Hong found young Master Ye's body, completely twisted. He searched the enemy's belongings looking for something useful. Su Hong found a small notebook, the skill book, Void Breaking Fingers. That night, the python remained before the cave, which seemed lit from within, with rocks blocking the entrance. Su Hong was sitting inside the cave. He memorized the entire introductory method of the Void Breaking Fingers cultivation technique. Now, he would only need to use it in the system to master it quickly. Su Hong appeared in the secret realm, and before him his clone began to form. Immediately upon appearing, the clone attacked Su Hong, launching an energy strike over his shoulder. Su Hong didn't stand still, returning the void-breaking fingers attacks, piercing through space toward the clone. The learning percentage of the technique rose rapidly. Su Hong, however, could not defend against all the attacks. One of the energy strikes hit him in the forehead. Being eliminated in the training realm, Su Hong returned to reality. He coughed several times and understood that a rank B martial skill was not that easy. Even at the basic realm, he already felt great pressure. However, having learned the technique, now he would only need to find a monster to test it. 3 days later, a large bear emerged in the jungle. It attacked Su Hong, who put the newly obtained technique into practice. Beams of energy shot from Su Hong's fingers, breaking the void and piercing the bear. After 3 days, Su Hong reached the perfection realm in the new technique. Its power showed why it was classified as rank B among martial skills. After so many days away, the day arrived for Su Hong to return to the base. A long line was forming for the delivery of monster ears. When someone received 230,000 in prize money, everyone was shocked. "Your Thunder Squad is truly powerful. You defeated so many." Suddenly, an even greater commotion occurred. Su Hong had placed a large bag before the woman in charge of accounting. Even she was shocked. 72 Tier 1 ferocious beasts, initial stage, 83 in the middle stage, 17 in the high stage. This totals 406,000 blue star coins. Even Su Hong was surprised at having eliminated so many beasts. The amount might look a bit suspicious, so he made a mental note not to go so far next time. Suddenly, a large explosion happened inside the base, drawing the attention of everyone scattered throughout it. Seeing a large curtain of smoke, many were worried the base had been invaded by beasts, even with the presence of so many high-rank martial artists. A man named Ye Qi, uncle of Ye Feng, the young master Ye, followed by numerous security guards, ground his teeth. "Lock down the base for me. Don't let even a fly escape." That was the order given by the one in charge of the base. A man approached Ye Qi, concerned, trying to understand what had happened. Ye Qi barked furiously. "My nephew Ye Feng and 4 of his martial artists, all of them were attacked." All the martial artists began to look at one another. Surprise was evident in everyone's eyes. Ye Feng, being part of a group of 5, having been eliminated, was extremely shocking. However, many celebrated in silence. Practically everyone had already been robbed by Ye Feng. If it weren't for his identity, many would have done the dirty work themselves long ago. Ye Qi walked through the base while his guards kept everyone away. A rank B martial skill on Ye Feng's body has disappeared. All martial artists must undergo a body search before leaving the base. Su Hong was calm because, due to the appearance of Ye Feng's and his companions' bodies, it was obvious the python had eliminated them. There was nothing to link them to him. Suddenly, the exchange manager addressed Ye Qi. After whispering a few things, Ye Qi looked at Su Hong. The protagonist immediately felt he would be targeted. Ye Qi and several guards walked towards Su Hong. Everyone moved away immediately, clearing a path for the base leader. Ye Qi looked at Su Hong with contempt and an overwhelming aura. "Little brother, I heard you defeated numerous ferocious beasts totaling 400,000 all by yourself. Your skills are incredible.